had a really big turning point in his life. And his friends started to make comments about, his personality. Like, you've changed. Like, why all of a sudden you become a better person? Why all of a sudden you've made changes in your life? And his comment was to the people that were making these comments were, I haven't changed. I'm just going back to who I originally was. So our number one goal, our number one mission is to go back to what God and Christ intended us to be. And the perfect example of that is Christ himself. So if we have like Christ as the ultimate perfect human, our aim and our goal is to move as close as we can towards that image. So we can see that our will, our goal, our mission is now in line with actually what Christ's mission was. That of everything God has given you, you should lose nothing. You should lose nothing of that. Of your honesty, you should not lose. Of your purity, you should not lose. Of your integrity, you should not lose. Of your self-worth, you should not lose. Okay. So this is the part that really kind of challenges us a little bit more. Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love. In honor, giving preference to one another, not lagging in diligence, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing steadfastly in prayer, distributing to the needs of the saints, giving to hospitality. This is what Christ wants us to do. This is like, in this passage, this is what Christ wants us to be like. He wants us to behave like this exact manner of what is being explained in this is what Christ wants us to be like. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind towards one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your opinion. Repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Therefore, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink. For in so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. If you can read this passage, and if you can connect with some of these suggestions, then you're doing the will of God. Then you're moving towards Christ's mission for you. There's another passage in John 14:12. I won't bring it up, but I'll read it out to you. He says, Most assuredly I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also. And greater works than these he will do. So he's actually asking us to partake in what his mission was on earth, which is to do good. It is to enjoy being around each other. It's to participate in service. It's to share your story, to share maybe your struggles, to understand people's opinions, to gain insight into what is, what's important for someone. These kind of things help us really connect with Christ. There was a person who was at our camp, and they really enjoyed the fact that there was so much love amongst the youth, and they felt what they told me was that they felt that our community was one big family. And automatically when I was reading this verse, this part, be of the same mind towards each other, it kind of highlighted the fact that everyone here shows so much love to each other. And that's a really beautiful thing, you know, that you can go to someone standing there and have a conversation and you feel that there's this genuine love between you two. That there's a caring nature about the conversation you're having. There's a genuine interest in the struggle that you might be going through. These are really all important things. So if you can share in these things, then you're moving towards the right goals. You're moving towards the right mission on earth. Okay. Not too long now. So there's 4 people standing in this image. Each one represents the parable of the sower. The ground where the seed fell. If you read carefully, or if you know the context of this story, Christ actually tells the parable of the sower to the multitudes, but he's on a boat, right? And he tells the parable, and then afterwards, his disciples come up to him and they say, "Why do you speak to the multitudes in parables?" And he responds to his disciples, hearing they do not hear, and seeing they do not perceive, for their hearts have grown dull. So he almost confuses the multitude with this parable. But he says to his disciples, "Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For even the prophets and righteous men have desired to see the things that you see, but have not seen them." And then he goes and he tells the parable again. Almost to say that because you have this relationship with me, I'm going to give you more insight into what the parable actually means. So if we're like the multitude outside on the shore, and we don't show a desire to understand, we're not going to understand what our mission or our goal is. But the disciple that inquired, he gained understanding. He says, "Therefore hear the parable of the sower." So this is Christ again repeating to his disciples that parable, but in another way. He says, "Therefore hear the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is he who received seed by the wayside. But he who received the seed on stony places, this is he who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but endures only for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he stumbles." Make note that at some point of our lives, maybe this is, like I can relate to every single person. And that's okay if you can. Obviously the goal is to become like the last person. However, there are certain stages that we go through as Christians. Now he who receives seed among the thorns is he who hears the word, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful. But he who receives seed on the good ground is he who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and produces some 100, some 60, and some 30-fold. Our mission, although is to partake and participate with Christ in sharing our love with others and being there for people and helping other people and giving and serving others. Part of the mission is to cultivate ground where God's word can flourish. Amongst these 4 people, what was actually bad, the seed or the ground? It was actually the ground, it wasn't the seed. The seed is always good. Christ's word is always good. But if it doesn't land on soil or on a heart that's fertile, it has no chance of flourishing. Perfect example is people that I work with. They teach in a Catholic school. They are meant to embody the Catholic ethos. However, they cannot come to terms with believing in Christ because their heart hasn't been softened. Their heart hasn't had the opportunity to toil. So part of our mission and our goal is to work our souls so that, yes, we get uncomfortable. Yes, it hurts to maybe go outside of our comfort zone and serve other people. Yes, it may hurt to give a certain person time to listen. That's hard. It's not easy. But that's what's required. Because when you do that, then the words of Christ make a lot more sense. So we're lucky in the sense that we have access to Christ's words. We're lucky that we have the knowledge of doing good. Okay. Last slide. The parable of the sower. Oh, sorry, we went through that. Okay, so we want to get to a point where we can accept that we've achieved our mission, and it's not something that you need to think that you achieve. You can achieve in 10 years' time. Your mission or your goal is to actually achieve things on a daily basis. So if you can go to sleep at the end of every day knowing that you gave that day everything you could, if it means walking into work with a smile or making someone cheerful, okay? If it means sitting down with a brother or sister and having a conversation with them, if it means having to take out the washing and hang it up on the washing line, okay, because your mom or your partner's asked you to do that, then you're doing things out of love, genuine love, and that is part of your mission. And I think this is really important to kind of grasp. Now, I play for a soccer team out at Nepean, and there's a coach who I'm kind of close with. He coaches on the 20s team, but there's this one boy who's super talented, super gifted, right? Could be playing at a very, very high level, earning very decent money. And the coach, he's Ghanaian, and I say to him, his name's Archangel. I say, Archie, what's wrong with Shook? The boy's name is Shook. He goes, I don't know, man. This boy, the African, they love to get into the conversation. This boy, man, he's so talented. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but what's he doing, man? The guy, he's not performing. Like, what's wrong with him? He goes, man, this guy's lazy. I'm like, really? He goes, well, can't he change? Like, doesn't he know how talented he is? And he's like, man, this guy, there's no point in changing the engine. The engine is already built, and he makes a valid point. If we get to a point where our mindset is already built in the way that we perceive life or the way that we look at it, then it's hard to change. He said, why am I trying to recondition this boy? The engine is already built. So whilst we have the time and the energy, we have to really reconsider our goals and the mission that we're meant to be living for. Because once you get to an age, it's very hard to undo that. Some of us are lucky with the grace of God that we can. But for some people, like my work colleagues, it's very difficult. We're talking about 40, 50 years of hardening a place in your heart that doesn't want to accept Christ. So we have to condition ourselves and our engines to think and perceive things the right way. At the end, I think this is a verse that we'd all like to hear. One of my favorites. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give to me on that day. And not to me only, but also to all those who love His appearing. Hopefully these are the words that we encounter on that day when we're no longer present in this earth. And that we may always fight for our goals and our mission to represent Christ and to allow Him to be part of us in a synergy. Okay? To allow Him to be part of our hands and our eyes and our words. To always let Him shine through us that other people may see Him rather than us. And glory be to God. Questions? Yes. Sorry?
What conversations have you had with those colleagues?
Oh, conversations with colleagues. Look, to be honest, I never bring up conversations with them, but the interesting thing is that they always ask questions. And one of the really, really common themes that if you look in the Bible, that what we actually understand or what we're part of is actually a mystery. So they can't put their finger on it because they're not inside it, if that makes sense. When you're inside the Word of God and you're living it, everything becomes mysterious. I love the reply that when Gabriel did to one of the youth, who asked a question in one of the group chats. One of the questions was something about how do you interpret the Bible or something. Can you read out your response? Because I really like it.
Read it out?
Yeah, if possible. But basically, it was along the lines of when you allow the Word of God to be part of your life, then it becomes magical. But the conversations that I've had with these people is they're curious and they want to know, but because there's a hardening of their heart, they can't accept it, they can't understand it.
I dug it out, I found it.
Thank you.
It was about the Bible study that we were on Tuesday. One of the youth asked a provoking question, and then I'm not going to it now, but the quote that I think makes sense, and it says the following: I think the Bible has the power of the Spirit, and the Spirit is light, yet effective, and its impact is real. Read it and expect its mysteries to heal you.
Yeah.
And but that's not my words. Like I made these words up, but it's not my concept. This is from St. Cyril's liturgy. That's his understanding of the Spirit. The Spirit of the Holy Spirit is light yet powerful and effective.
Yeah, but that's a good question because sometimes those questions about belief and why you believe in God, they come up. But I think putting that aside, our mission on earth should always be to represent Christ. Should always be to do the deal. It's not, I don't think it's a point where you get to say, I've represented. It's a daily thing. It's a minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, constant reassessing, reevaluating what we should do. But yeah, I can tell you a bit more about some conversations because. Okay. I think there's some announcements. I think Marina Hannah also has some announcements. Is that true? Awesome. Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.